Nice, brisk, crisp winter day. Funny thing is, I tried to drive this and the battery was completely dead. So it's charging. We might drive that a little bit later. At the moment, I've got something that I need to do that I've been putting off for a while. And that's work on this trailer. I let my friend borrow a trailer. He had quite a larger truck than I had. He had to make an adjustment, more importantly, that part. So because his truck was so much taller, that was extended. When I got it back, I raised it up and took off as normal, but since it was a little bit lower, obviously when I went off my curb, it just ripped it off. So I got a new one, and this time with a wheel, because instead of a skid, hopefully that'll just roll on out and not destroy stuff. It's cutting time, so I gotta cut the rest of that out because obviously, you know, when it bends, it kinks out wide and I can't just pull it straight up. So let's get to chopping.
Elemental did it.
My biggest challenge with content creation on YouTube is the type of content that I want to provide the channel, right? Oh, Lord. Type of content that I want to provide, I really want it to be of some kind of quality, but it's kind of hard to do like full quality things all the time. Car seems to be running pretty good. We'll see if the battery holds charge. We got to go to AutoZone real quick, so we'll meet you there. Now, drifters, we're the only ones who think this kind of shit's acceptable, riding around on those kind of tires. I mean, literally front and back. They're all takeoffs, all worn out. Well, let's run in here, grab a battery and a couple things.
A few moments later.
Alright, so we're in and out. Got the battery. All the lights are out on the dash, which is crazy. Let's accelerate on the freeway with these bald ass tires. It's crazy the difference that wheels make, because we've been rolling around with about 36 pounds on each corner of this car. It's always been okay as far as acceleration, but putting back on the BBSs after hella years, this car feels quick again. It feels fast now, because the BBSs probably weigh about 18, 19 pounds on each corner. So that drastic 20-pound drop is doing worlds of difference for the acceleration of this car. But looking at the scape of things, right? Content creation on YouTube is a key thing. Like, I always want to give you guys what you want, and I do read the comments, and I do try to answer to as many as possible. But I know you guys have been wanting to see this car, but there are changes coming. Main thing is aero and exhaust. Now, I know California's tripping off of this exhaust thing, but it's something that we've dealt with for ages. People that have been driving since before 2002, we remember what happened when everything went crazy. So I am getting exhaust on this car. The law isn't gonna scare me because I know what the law is. If you read it, you know a little bit more about it. It's not that scary. So we're gonna do exhaust on this car. We're gonna do exhaust on this car soon. The next thing is gonna be aero. Since this bumper and fenders and everything got kind of messed up, and I'll show you what I mean when we get home. It got kind of messed up when I put those work emotions on just to test fit them. I'm changing it all out. So obviously the bumper's gone through hell and back with hitting cones and going in and out of driveways that aren't low car friendly. So we're just going to change all of that with a whole aero redesign and get the car back in order with a couple of fresh coats of paint. So a few things soon to come for this car, but also a car that I haven't really done too much with and that has just been sitting in the garage for ages, the Convertible. What an idiot right here. The Convertible never really gets driven, and I mean never really gets driven. So it's been sitting with a dead battery for a while, so we're gonna change that dead battery real quick, and let's just jump straight to that. Sheesh, man, it's the sad state that I keep this car in, but that's why I'm vowing for this year to drive this car maybe at least 2 or 3 events. It really has not gotten the respect it deserves, I guess. Shit. We didn't even put the tree up, which should go up there. Just put it here on the car, like that's how we feeling? I mean, I didn't really do that, but let me clean up a little bit and pull her out and drive her. Let's just fire her up. Now that I got her cleaned up, got a battery in her, let's fire her up and get her out of here and just drive around the block a little bit. And hopefully I got this framed up pretty good. Oh yeah, cold start sounds pretty solid. As we're tossing this bumper on, let's just talk about this California exhaust. I didn't think it was that huge of an idea or that huge of a deal, seeing as though we've been dealing with that for ages, for, gee, like I said in my other video, for many, many years we've been dealing with this exhaust deal, and everybody is seeming to make it such a big deal. I mean, maybe it is a valid concern because tuners everywhere, you know, if something seems to be successfully done or executed in other places, I guess it can move all around the land. California has a huge issue with a lot of automotive related stuff. Hey, I mean, if the rest of the nation takes note, if California does it successfully, then they'll probably try to implement it as well, right? There's an essence of the law, there's a way that the law is written, and a lot of people that haven't been living with this, they kind of just go off of the way that the law is written, which is general sense how you should handle a lot of things, right? But, you know, needless to say, us that live through it, we live through the experience of having to deal with cops here, and we know how they operate. A few facts that we know about the exhaust. They've always been deemed illegal if they exceed the dB limit. Those of us that go to racetracks, we know that racetracks have dB limits. Laguna Seca, the most, I guess you could say, the most famous and popular racetrack in our area, has a 95 decibel limit. The streets have a 95 decibel limit. Y'all, if nobody told you, if your car exceeds racetrack decibel limits, you're a little too loud, man. Putting an exhaust on your car is not illegal. That's not how the law is supposed to be taken, you know, advantage of. A cop can't tell you modifying your car is illegal. A cop can tell you the way that you have modified your car is illegal. So let's look at this. This right here is fuckboy shit. I did it on purpose because of how the car is, how the car is built, how I wanted the car to be, and how I wanted the car to sound. This right here is a pain in the ass when I walk by it and cut my goddamn leg on these tips. That's what I was going for. This is straight piped exhaust from downpipe out. I took into precaution, this is a rotary, and I was going to operate it on the street every once in a while. So I put a pre-silencer in it. There's a pre-silencer in the center of the car, and it's spaced far enough from the engine and between the exit of the exhaust that it actually sounds good and quiet. A lot of those good, pure, solid, rotational sounds still come from that exhaust, but it just doesn't meet a very high pitch. Like, watch, I'll fire it up so you could hear it. So as you can hear, still got that rotary, but it's just not excessively loud. Those are the precautions that you should take if you're driving your car on the street. But we also have the look, the visual of it. A cop could pull up behind me and be like, yo, I know that's not legally done. And under his assumption, and if he feels like it, he can give me the ticket, send me to the state ref. So what does this mean for us tuners? Nothing. It's the same thing that we've been doing since we've been doing this kind of car thing since the mid-2000s, early 2000s. It's honestly the same thing we've been doing for years. You modify your car how you want to modify it, and you really hope you get away with it. And if you don't, you make a change in your habits or a change in how you tune your car. That's really all it means. You hear that exhaust? It's nice and calm and quiet, even if I get on it. super good. And that's kind of the balance that you need to take when you're building a car that you're gonna use on the street and you're gonna use it at the track. You gotta have a nice balance. Myself, I don't really mind abiding by rules and trying to bend them at the same time. Like, that's kind of the way that the car enthusiast thing is. Like, you know what the rules are, and then you try to bend them as much as you can until somebody smacks the shit out of you with a fine and tells you to stop it. Then once they tell you to stop it, you deal with what you got, because those are the consequences that you know you're up against, and then you just proceed as follows, right? So I don't really get what the big deal is, but you know, those that have those huge Boso exhausts, you might have thought that that was all good, huh? Because nobody said nothing to you for a while. Nah, it's all bad. Change that shit. And I mean, as most of us know, a good time isn't here for a long time. We've tried to get the best out of the scene for the longest and try to self-police ourselves, but with the internet and with people with money, they go and do shit that you see, like, you know, other Lamborghinis and Audis and other guys with humongous exhausts hanging out the back because they deleted their whole rear bumper. It's straight piped. Like, who the hell doesn't think that a V12 or a V10 or anything 5 liters and above with a straight exhaust and multiple cylinders isn't gonna make a ton of freaking noise, right? And just because they can do it, they do it. And what is us peasants to do with people with money that want to do what the hell they want to do? How do I stop you? Like, y'all, ain't nobody gonna stop me doing what I want to do, right? Everybody but the lawmakers. The lawmakers gonna get in your ass. And what we all need to understand about this car thing is, we do what we can in the space that we're given. Once that space gets tighter and closer on us and we get constricted, the scene dies. Woo! Woo! It sounds so good, baby. Breaking though. Hi. See you soon. Thank you. All right. Oh shit. The clutch slipped the hell out of that. Oof. Too tight, too tight.
Party, can I say?
Go, go, go. wants me. This is turning into a medium range tandem. Yeah, the front end stayed where I wanted it. No, the rear end won't stay where I want it. Look at this torque kill me to the line. Look at this torque. All right, picking back up on the vlog, night moves, and we're in the RX8. So, the thing that is happening today is, I guess we're sliding. As you can hear, Shane cut through the section. We're gonna see what it do. It's not as wet as it was, and basically we're just gonna see what is still a little wet so that we don't make a ton of noise and have a little bit of fun, because I gotta get ready to go to work in a couple of hours. We are just gonna hit a little quick spot. Got the RX8 out with the IS250. Got the work motions on the front. They rub just a little bit, slight fitment problems, but they look really good for the most part. Aero should be here, so I won't really have to worry about the fender rubbing part, because obviously the over fenders will take care of that and I'll be happy. Same with the rear. I'll get those rears on and be back to looking pretty chunky. Then it'll be paint, but for right now, we're gonna see if this old girl is woken up and if she's ready to slide. I'm sure she is. The question is, am I? And I've actually only got a few hours to get some work in, because then I got to go to sleep to get some work in. So we're going to fast forward to our Antarctica spot, somewhere in Mexico, North America, Canada-ish, somewhere around there.